Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Quita if you're new here. So glad that you decided to stop by to catch a video today. So I am going to be sharing with you on this video 5 planners that I think everyone should have. And I'm also going to throw in a couple of notable mentions of some planners that would be nice to have. But this video is going to be all about the top 5 planners I feel like everyone should have in their collection. So that's what we're going to discuss today. But first, if you're new here, I hope you'll stick around and consider subscribing, of course. And also give me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy it. So let's dig into these 5 planners I think everyone should have. If you want to see that, make sure to stay tuned. Alright guys, so on this video I thought it would be super fun to share with you guys some planners I think that everyone should have in their collection, some planners that I feel like make life easier and it just helps you overall to keep your life together. So I'm going to share with you my top 5. I have a pretty huge planner collection, but as of now I'm only using a limited number of planners and I feel really good about that. I feel like I totally have planner peace, and so I want to share with you some of those planners that have helped me. And keep in mind that you don't have to have this many planners. You don't have to have any planners. But I do feel like having at least one is going to help you to be able to kind of keep everything organized. So we're going to just start in random order. This isn't in any order of importance. It's just randomly. I'm going to share with you that first planner that I think that everyone should have in their collection. And the first planner is a catch-all planner. So my catch-all planner is my everyday go-to planner. This is the planner that holds everything. This is what keeps my life together. Without this planner, I wouldn't be as organized as I am. And so a catch-all planner just basically means you're going to dump everything all into this one planner. So within this planner, I have multiple sections, which are like menu planning, everyday planning, my weekly schedule, my kids stuff, some school stuff. And there are some tabs in here that I don't necessarily pour it all into. I do have other planners that split that out, but I like to have a tab for that in here. So that way, if I'm on the go, on the fly, if I have this around and I don't have those other planners around, I can dump it all into this, and then I can use this to transfer into those other planners that information goes into. And so I definitely would say, because again, I did mention there's going to be 5 planners I'm going to talk about today. You don't have to have all 5, but I definitely would recommend having at least one, which would be your main or catch-all planner. And so this is such an important part of my life. All right, so this is my catch-all planner. You guys have seen this planner so many times. I adore this planner. It's set up perfectly. I have complete planner peace. So this planner is predominantly used for everything. It is a catch-all planner, which means this is the start of my planning. So when it comes to kind of getting things out of my head, because I do have everything split out by subject, I dump it in that section. And if I need to transfer it out of this planner to a different planner, then I do that. But otherwise, it pretty much stays in here, and this is what I use to manage my whole entire household. And that starts with my calendar section. I have a lot of decor and different things going on in this planner. Lots of things that make it easy for me to plan, like washi and things like that, where I don't have to pull out a whole planner tote bag with supplies and such. I do have a couple of things in here where if I needed to plan on the go, I could. And so my calendar section for me is where it all starts. And I do have a at a glance section here, and in my at a glance section, sometimes I will come in here and write appointments and things in here, but since I feel like I'm not really doing anything right now, there's really nothing to write in here. But if there is something important or an appointment we have, I do come here and I'll write it here, and then I will take it from this section and transfer it into my calendar section. But my calendar section is pretty much where I start. And so within my calendar section, as you can see, I've got my monthly. So of course I come here and I plan my months out. As you can see, didn't do so well for this month, but I'm trying to do better going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you to the current week, which is here. And so I planned my last week out, of course, so you can see kind of how things go. So what I am using right now is the dashboard layout. I have been loving the dashboard layout because I really feel like you can just only put appointments on this side and your meal prep stuff here at the top, or not. This is a blank section. And then you can come here and you can kind of break some things down. And so it doesn't become repetitive, because what I was finding is that every day I was putting the same stuff, pushing it to the next day and the next day and the next day. Certain things just occur every day. And so I don't necessarily need to write it every day. I just want to know that I have to do it. And so that's where this little to-do list comes into play. And then I have my priorities here. I have goals. I try to at least have 3 goals a week. And then I have a little list of things I need to buy. And typically that's outside of groceries for me. I do have a shopping list here that I typically pop in the week. And then we have my spiritual schedule here at the bottom. And so I just want to show you a completely filled in weekly, because this week here, as you can see, I haven't written anything in yet. And so this is how my week would typically look, just to kind of show you. Even the previous week to that and the previous week to that is pretty much the same way in terms of planning it out. There'll be a half sheet popped in for my shopping list for groceries. This again is just really for like Amazon stuff or like big purchases and things like that. And then sometimes I'll take it from here and put it onto this if it is something other than that, or if I need to go ahead and buy it this week. Sometimes I'll just write things I wish I could buy here. It may not be necessarily stuff that I'm going to buy immediately. And so it may not need to be transferred here. But if it does, I'll go ahead and write it here, and then I'll take this and I'll use this for my grocery shopping. And so this is like the hub of my planner. The calendar section is where I figure out what I need to do on a daily basis. And so this is where I'm going to come every single day. Now, I do have other sections in my planner where I may not necessarily visit every day, but they are equally as important. For instance, I have a monthly section, and this is where I do all of my pre-planning. And so I have these monthly pre-planning sheets. And so I'll come here if I want to go ahead and plan out in the future. I don't want to put it on my monthly, or may not have that monthly, because technically I only keep a couple of months in my planner. I don't keep, all the year or 6 months in my planner, because I just can't fit it. So that's where these pre-planning sheets come into play. You can just stick 6 in here, and then you can use these to plan those future months. And so this is a really important section for me as well. So I went ahead and purged some months out to make room for the next month. And so that way I can go ahead and start planning for the future. I am, y'all, going to try to start using an hourly layout. So I went ahead and tested it out. And so I added some hourly inserts to my planner so that I can start showing you guys maybe how I could use an hourly planner. And of course, me, the way my mind thinks, I want to sit down and kind of do a mock up just so I could kind of see how things would be positioned in the planner on the spread. And so every week, of course, is not going to look like this, but I kind of wanted to see how my day would typically look. And I could use this as a guide for planning ongoing. So it's nothing wrong with that. If you want to create a mock-up design, and that way you kind of know where you like things positioned, because for me, I still like it to look good. Although a planner is functional and you want to make sure you're accomplishing those goals, I still want it to look good. And so I like to do a mock-up just for reference, so I could kind of see how I planned in the past, how I used this layout in the past, the layout, the way I used it, how it looked the best. So that way I could kind of mimic that going forward. And of course you use different stickers so it would look differently, but I just like to do that just so I can kind of know how I'm going to structure things. So that's what's here in the back, because again, I'm going to try to use an hourly for next month. So my monthly section again is just for pre-planning inserts. So I have nothing else in there beside that. And then I have a home section, which just has my meal planner. So we've got a weekly meal planner. I feel like this is kind of like a flip through video, which it shouldn't be, although you guys do love those videos. I'm just kind of talking you through the planner that I'm referencing, and why it's so important, and why I feel like everybody should have it in their lineup, because that's what it's all about. So I definitely feel like everyone should have a catch-all planner in their lineup. This could actually really be your only planner, because it is a catch-all, meaning that you're catching everything. Every aspect of your life should go in this planner, and then you should have a separate separate planner if you need to break those things down even further. Like for me, I have a meal and recipe planner, but I do have a section in here. I also have a business planner, but I have a business section in here. I also have a budget planner, but I have some budgeting things in here. And so this is just a place for me to kind of get it out of my head, get it on paper, and then from here, when I'm doing my Sunday planning routine, I'll pull it out of here and put it in those particular planners. And so having a catch-all is definitely an essential planner to have in your lineup. You don't have to have it split out like I have mine split out in terms of the sections, but I do feel like my brain works in sections. And so for me to be able to have, you know, top tabs at the top that say, you know, different sections, and then I can break down those tabs even further on the side. That's just how my brain works. And it just allows me to be organized within my planning system. And so again, within the home section, we've got several different sections: meal planning, cleaning, projects. This planner should really help you to be able to manage your whole entire home. You guys know I do have a home management section in my website where I have about 4 to 5 different inserts. I am working on creating a whole ton of inserts. You guys are going to be super shook when you see it, because it's going to be where you guys can take those inserts and you can create a home management planner. And that's kind of what this is for me. But those inserts are going to be all cohesive, all streamlined. They're going to have the pretty much, you know, similar design. So everything will look the same, aesthetically pleasing. And then also some different inserts that I don't have available that I feel like you need in your home management system, like contacts, emergency contacts, babysitter info, you know, pet sitter info, things like that. Those are all things that should be in a home management system. And so this is kind of like that. And so I plan on tweaking it once I get all of those inserts ready. And of course, I'll share that with you guys. And so with this planner here, if I really wanted to do away with the other planners that I'm going to show you later, I could technically because of this planner, but I still think that those other planners are essential, and I think that you'll see why as you know I continue on with this video. But number one planner that is essential is definitely a catch-all planner. So projects, again, within the home section, and then if we keep moving forward, we have fitness. And within fitness, we've got, you know, some spreads that I've decorated. I'm not really that consistent with my fitness, but I like having it here because I also feel like when you have it in your planner, it's more likely that you're going to come plan in those sections. If you don't have it, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And so I like to still keep it here, even if it's not consistent. And so as you can see, even though I say it's one planner, it's technically multiple planners within a planner. But I feel like when you Franken plan, it makes it easier to not feel so overwhelming. And so this right here is all in my fitness section. Then I get to the family section, and within the family section, I've just got some block schedule inserts, which I filled one out here for reference. And then I also have like an ongoing to-do list during a pandemic is what I titled it. I wanted to come up with some things that we could do since we're kind of quarantined. I feel like things are changing, but I wanted to have some things that we could do as a family that didn't involve necessarily being around other people. And then I have a routine section here, still in the family section. We've got a little corner pocket here. I love these corner pockets in our shop. I have them in black and clear, and I just stuck in some this week's sticky notes on one of our dashboards. And so as you can see, there's a lot going on in terms of decor. I think it's a really pretty setup, and I just really love it. And then we get to where we're still in the family section, still in routines. I have a daily schedule here. I'm going to be doing a video soon, you guys, showing you guys kind of like a day in the life of a planner, of my planner. That seems like a planner trend going on right now. Those are the type of videos that people are doing, and I feel like you guys might be interested to see like my planner in action. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. And so still in routines, we've got weekly routines, and then that is pretty much it. So this just kind of breaks down the family's routines by person. Then we get to my personal section, and as you guys can see, there's just lots of thoughts in here, random things. I even came up with some fall ideas, a little fall bucket list, which I really love. And I just kind of dumped some things out here, y'all. Shows I want to binge watch, doodles, my blood pressure. I wanted to log that. I'm coming out with a log that is going to be a part of the home management release. So I'm excited about that. And then some videos I wanted to film. I think I pretty much filmed all these videos. So this is just my personal section. I have some business stuff in here that I can use to just plan on the go, and then I can take that information and transfer it into my actual business planner. Then we've got lists. We've got my inbox here that I just use sticky notes to just put some important things on. Wellness. We've got school. So again, some of these planners do have dedicated planners but I still like to have them here just so I can plan on the go and then transfer it out of here into that planner. So we've got self-care, school, and then expenses. And that is pretty much it. And then just random fill paper and stickers in the back. A little pocket with adhesive pocket on it and that has more stickers in it so I can plan on the go. Like I referenced before, I have a lot of stuff in here that makes it easier for me. If I don't have a sticker book, I can just plan on the go with what I have already included in this planner. So I love this setup, completely obsessed with it. This is a must-have, especially if you're starting out planning. It doesn't have to be Franken-plan to the extent that mine is, but I definitely think at least if you have your regular monthly calendar inserts in it and maybe some half sheets here and there, I think that you could find some great function there, and you can find that, or you will find that your life is a lot more organized by implementing a catch-all planner in your planning system and in your life. So this is number one because this is essential, most important in my eyes. I think everybody should have a catch-all planner. So this is planner number one. The fact that it's pretty makes it even better because it makes me want to use it. And so this planner is just essential to my life. So that is planner number one, a catch-all planner, a brain dump planner, a planner to kind of store everything about your life, a place where you can keep up with daily schedules, that you can keep up with your life, your kids' life, your husband's life, whomever you have that needs a life managed. I would store it all in your catch-all planner. And then you can have some other planners, which I'm going to dig into later in this video, that's going to share with you how you can kind of break it down even further. So the next planner that I think everyone should have is a homeschool or virtual learning planner, especially right now, because what we're going through with the whole COVID-19 situation and pandemic, we are schooling our kids. And I feel like you need to have a place where you can write it all down that is separate from your catch-all planner. Now I do have a section in my catch-all planner for school. Again, that's just a place for me to kind of get it all out, dump it out on the fly, but I have a in-depth homeschool schedule or calendar that I use to break it down even further and put all the details in there, schedules, assignments, things like that, all go in my homeschool / virtual learning planner. So I definitely would grab one of those planners. It doesn't have to be from our shop, of course. We do have a shop that has homeschool and virtual learning inserts to help you keep everything organized, but there are a ton of planners on the market that you could use to manage the day-to-day of virtual learning. And so this is what that looks like for me. It is a classic size planner, a neutral look, of course. And so it's got a really cute cover on there that makes me want to really dig into the thing and use it. I feel like when your planner looks nice, it just makes you want to reach for it. And at least that's how my brain works. And so inside of this planner, I have daily schedules for both of my kids. I have assignments. I have projects that are due. I basically, at the beginning of every week, or actually on a Sunday like today, I would pull this out and I would take it and I would write in all of the schedules for the week, all of the assignments. And then as the week goes along, it keeps my brain on track with what needs to be done so we don't miss anything. I'm able to check things off as they're being completed, and it just keeps me organized. So I need to have this planner broken out separately from my catch-all planner. Okay, so this is my homeschool and virtual learning planner. So since we are all in this new life, which I am over, by the way, I think this is essential. You have to have a homeschool and a virtual learning planner for your child or children. And so as you saw in my catch-all, again, I did have a section there, and that is just a place for me to dump out some important information, like I said before, and then I transfer it into this planner. So you guys have seen this before. I did do a flip through on my channel to show you guys how I have it set up. This thing has been awesome. So I have everything split out by months. So as you know, we are in September, getting ready to go into October. And again, for me, everything is going to start with that calendar. So if we come here to the calendar, as you can see, the monthly isn't really filled in, but I'm trying to do better for that in October. But as you can see, I did do my weeklies. My weeklies are very important. I like to come here on a weekly basis and write in all of the assignments. Although everything is online for Addison and Malachi, I still like to see on paper in front of me what needs to be done. So this week was hit or miss, and then I really got my act together for this week. And I even used some stickers and things. I broke everything down by subject, so that way I could see by subject what all needed to be done. I went ahead and I highlighted at the top all of her live lessons, and then I broke down those separate assignments underneath it, which is what I need to do. You know, although they are online technically in homeschool and they have a teacher, I am still the teacher. Yeah, we are all the teachers. And so we are responsible for filling in those gaps and making sure they get the bulk of their learning. The teacher's just kind of there to support us, in my mind, in this type of environment. And so Addison did have a project. And so from time to time when she has projects, although I didn't write anything in here, because I think the reason why I didn't is because on my dashboard here, I went ahead and just popped in the assignment. So I technically didn't need this card, but sometimes I'm extra and I like to write things in. But these are the project sheets. And so I didn't really need it because I had both projects already printed out and stuck in these little pockets. And so I technically didn't need that. But this is how a typical week would look. And then it would also have in the menu plan for the week, because we do have a school menu that we try to do. And then I have a separate way of planning for my dinner menu. And then Addison had some missing assignments. So I tried to track those. And then these are her sight words, and then again her project. And so I used our adhesive pockets 5x8 and adhere them to a dashboard and just stuck in those projects. So that way I could see them in front of me on the dashboard. One is here and one is on the back. And so those projects have been completed. And so this is the next week, I believe, right? I didn't plan anything. This is the current week. No, y'all. I didn't plan my week. So as you can see, snafus happen. But I did plan the previous week, which really helped me. I'm not sure why I didn't sit down this Sunday and do this. I think I was overwhelmed with other things. But I did go ahead and pop in that this was the week. And so I do need to take these out. I do plan on adding another dashboard that maybe doesn't have a tab on it with more adhesive pockets to just store other documents. I like that you can see through it, so you won't forget it. Sometimes when you pop in those other pockets, you stuff everything in and you don't see what you need to get done. And so I like the fact that that is clear. So we are going to be moving into October. And so I definitely think because we are all on this new journey, I am hoping that Addison will be able to go back to school soon because she is just a home kid. My son has been homeschooled for the past maybe 3 years, maybe 4. He's a homeschool kid and he is a high schooler, so he works independently. And Addison does not work independently because she is a first grader. She needs our help. And I really feel like she works better in school, in public school. And so I'm hoping that she can go back. But until then, we have a planner and we just got to work it out. And so that's what we have been doing. And this planner has been essential to that process. And so just to kind of show you what is in the front of the planner as well, we have some school information. We have the attendance tracker, which I haven't really been keeping up with that much. And we have her schedule. And so this was her schedule when she was actually going to the public school here. And then once that changed and she became a full-time homeschool student in this program that she's in, I went ahead and did a new schedule for her. And I did a schedule for my son as well. He has live lessons every now and then as well. And so I just want to be in the know. And then we have monthly goals, which we haven't written anything in yet. And then we get to the monthly sections. And I did really good with August, and then I fell off in September. So hopefully October, in terms of the monthly, I can get back on track. But even though I'm hit or miss, for the most part, I'm hit. I feel like those weeks when I am really writing things in and staying in tune, you know, and just because I don't write it in doesn't mean I'm not in tune, but this helps me to be even more in tune. I feel like those are the best weeks and we get the most done. And so I would definitely get you one of these planners. Again, it doesn't have to be our planner from Fancy Plans Co., but I would definitely get some sort of planner that you can use to track homeschool and virtual learning for your kids. So this is important. I feel like right now, everybody should have this in their planner lineup. Okay, so the next planner on my list, if you are a working person or you are a business person or an entrepreneur, you have a shop, anything like that, I would definitely say you will need to have a business social media work planner. So if you work outside the home, of course, this is going to look very different for you. But for me, this is my business and social media planner, which means that everything about my business is broken out. Although I do have a tab in my catch-all planner, it's broken out and it's put into this planner. So that way, when I am working on business or I'm during normal business hours and I'm working, I can pull this out and I know that everything in here is only going to pertain to business. And so this just keeps me on track with business to-dos and goals and things like that. So I would definitely have a separate planner for work or for business or for entrepreneurship or whatever you decide that you're going to do for a career. I would definitely have a separate planner for that. All right, this is my business and social media planner. It is the Martha Stewart disc bound cover, rose gold disc from our shop, and these are actually our bigger discs because I felt like this thing was getting so chunky. I did the same thing with my catch-all planner. We have bigger discs in the clear, and we have bigger discs in the rose gold. So I felt like I just needed to expand a little bit. They are a little bit smaller than the Happy Planner Expander discs. I feel like Happy Planner Expander discs are great, but sometimes I felt like they were just too big. So this is in the middle of Classic and Happy Planner Expander discs. Happy Planner Expander discs are 1.75. These are 1.50. So I feel like this is the perfect size. So I have, again, a Martha Stewart disc bound cover on it. I'm going to be changing this cover soon because although I did Scotch guard it, I feel like there's some stains that are coming. It's super pretty and chic, but it's just a fabric material that is not holding up as good as I wanted it to hold up. So this planner for me is essential. So I'm trying to give you guys reasons as to why I say everyone should have this particular planner in their lineup. And I feel like if you are a business owner, small business owner, shop owner, even work. So this is a work planner slash small business entrepreneur planner, business owner planner. So I think everyone should have either a work planner if you work outside the home, or a business and social media planner if you do kind of something similar to what I do, a shop planner if you just have an Etsy shop or a Shopify store. Everyone should have a planner that breaks down what they do professionally. And that is what this planner is for me. So as you can see on the left-hand side, and I'm just kind of guide you through how I have it set up and why I think it's important. I have some sticky notes, some stickers, a notepad here just to kind of quickly grab some things if I need to make a quick note. I also have this dashboard here, which I love, just gives me a little pop of inspiration to start my day. I did do a video on my channel where I showed you guys how I created this using our new journaling cards. I'm obsessed with this. So I just have it on the front, and then I've got some dots here on the back. Then we get to the inbox, and this is kind of where I just take a sticky note and I just write something quickly I know that needs to be done. I break it down by top priority and to do, and I just stick it here. And this is what I see first. So I know if I see it here, it needs to be done immediately. So I do feel like everyone should have an inbox of some sort as kind of like the first thing they see within their planner. Then we've got that same at a glance for things that may come up, outings. As you can see, we had Go Wild was supposed to be, well, I have my Wild 30 assignment that I was supposed to do, which I did. And then I think I had written in Go Wild at some point. But there's nothing going on business-wise. I mean, there's nothing going on anything-wise. We're at least not going anywhere. We're still kind of staying quarantined until we get the official go-ahead to, live our normal life. And so there's really nothing going on for us. So that's why you see it blank. But hopefully 2021 yields more outings and things professionally for me that I can go and meet some of you guys. So then I have this little piece of vellum that I printed and cut by mistake, but I didn't want to waste it, so I kept it there. Then we've got a little adhesive pocket with a little note. I like to put little notes on my divider dashboards. These are from our shop, by the way. I love our dashboards. I know there are some companies that have super thick dashboards, but I love the thin ones personally because I feel like it makes your planner less bulky. It's still a great plastic material that's not going to tear and bend, but it just doesn't make your planner as bulky, but still gives you that same quality and still gives you that same need in terms of having sections within your planner. So since we're on the topic of sections, as you can see, I do have sections there. I used our new clear labels just to put some sections there. I have calendar, shop, goals, finances, brands, blog, Patreon, and then I have six more, I think, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Ideas, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Then this one is enrichment, stats, and travel. So this is what works for me in terms of breaking everything out. These are sections that I work on a day-to-day basis and that I need broken out so that I know what needs to be done within those sections. But the hub, again, is my calendar section. So that's why I say, although I do feel like these planners are essential to have in your lineup, you can just have a calendar. You don't necessarily have to have all of these sections within your planner. But to me, I feel like having things broken out separately, planners broken out separately, just helps me. So I know that when I'm working during the day, I'm only pulling this planner out. I don't have to pull out, all of my planners. I'm just pulling this one planner out and I'm working. And then when I'm done working, I can close this up, get back to my catch-all, which is, the main part of my life is my family, and my spirituality and the stuff I have to do around the house. So that's what my catch-all is my main planner, but I do have to work. And so I want to make sure that I have a planner dedicated to that. And so I have, of course, monthlies and then weeklies. I a lot of times am simple when it comes to planning in this planner. I'll just write a to-do list. I'll still write things that need to be done by day on my calendar, but sometimes I'll just stick in a half sheet and just write a to-do list and break it down that way. So as you can see, the weeks have kind of been a little bit different. Like this one, I put in one of our Instagram feed planners because I started to plan out my Instagram feed, and then I don't know what happened. And then this week I put in a to-do list, you know, so it just depends on how I feel in terms of what I'm going to add in terms of a half sheet and what I'm going to write on my spread, and how busy I am that week. I also pulled out one of our notepad sheets to start writing in what I wanted to bulk film. I've been doing that every Sunday now, and so that's why you'll kind of start to see that. And as you can see, this week I just threw in a thoughts and ideas page, and then I still have that bulk film. So these have been great for me to be able to just write in some videos that I want to film for that week, and then I put the date, and then I put what that video is going to be about. Anything I need to buy, I'll write here or here, and then, you know, just kind of write down some things about the video that may be important. I write the date, and then it's a project, and bulk film at the top. So these have been really, really cool to be able to use for that purpose. And because they're blank, you can use them for anything you want. And so bulk film has been something that has been helping me in terms of writing on these. As you can see, yep, I did one. Actually, this is just random notes, so I actually can technically take that out, but I did do one for this week. As you can see, I keep this little corner pocket on my dashboard just so I can have random things tucked in there. And then I still have my task cards, which I use all the time. I love them. And so just to show you them, if you haven't seen the video on my channel yet, I have two sides of them. So I have two different task cards, and I just flip them and stick them in there. As you can see, our cards have our logo on them, fancy plans. And so you just pull them out if you have a project, because that's what this one says, and you'll put it on that day wherever it goes. And then underneath it, you can write whatever that project is. You can also put this on a monthly. You can put this on a dashboard. You can put it on a sticky note, wherever you want. And then you write underneath it whatever that project is. And then when you're done with it, you can take it and put it right on back. Or you can use this plastic task card for reference and put all the things on the task card that you know you need to do. Either way works, but task cards are totally a thing. And so we've got a ton of them in our shop, and they've been probably one of our most popular items because there's just a task card movement right now, and everybody has been enjoying using them. So that's what I've got here on my dashboard page. It has a top tab so I can easily get to the week. And then this is my spread. I used Mommy Lace stickers. You guys saw that playing with me on my channel. And then again, we have different sections within the planner. I did go ahead and pull October. I am using the vertical week on 2, and it seems to work for me. I am working on a 2021 planner release. All of our planners will still be undated. That's just what works for me, and you guys seem to love undated. And so I changed the layouts a little bit, just a little bit. So hopefully you guys like the new design of some of the layouts. And so just to do a quick flip through, because I've got still some more planners to talk you through, I just added a little adhesive pocket and stuck in another one of our journaling cards just for a pop-up inspo. And so I've got a shop section. This just houses all of the stuff about my shop. So if you have a shop, I definitely think you should have a calendar section and then the shop section just to break it down with ideas. As you can see, I've got some ideas here, to-do list, any fires I need to put out, any kits I need to create are going to go in this section. So this section is super important. That is why this section is first. I also think you need to have goals. Even if you are not an entrepreneur and you just go to a regular job every day, that is fine. But I still think that you need to have a planner for your work life. And so you can keep your work life and your home life separated. You can leave this planner on your desk at work. And so you definitely want to have a goals section in that planner as well, just to kind of write down goals and milestones and things that your boss wants you to do in terms of goals, things that you want to achieve. You definitely want to have a goals section and just dump all of that in your goals section. So when it comes to a shop, we have to track our finances, of course, because we've got things we got to buy. We want to add new items to our shop. We want to track the expenses of that. We also have taxes at the end of the year. So I definitely think that you want to make sure you have a finances section. And so that's what I've got there. It's just expense trackers and order trackers and things like that. And then I am a social media influencer also. I hate that word, but I read a book that said embrace the word. So I'm trying to do that, okay? And so I do work with brands, and so I like to have a section for that. So if you are an influencer as well, you probably will want to have a section for brands that you work with and brands that you want to work with, because we're all trying to expand our brand. And so you have to work with other brands in order to expand your brand as well. And so I would definitely have a section for that. So I've just got a few things in there. Then I have a blog section. I do have a blog at HomeWithQuita.com. I have a lot of subscribers to my blog, although it is very underutilized in terms of me posting to it. So that has been a goal for me for the past year. And for some reason, I have not been able to find the time to really focus on it. So maybe 2021, also because I have an assistant now. Her name is Quita. She's amazing. And she's been helping me get things on track and just helping me manage the day-to-day. And so maybe her and I will work together to get that up and running and functional, because you guys have been downloading some things. I do have a section there with free printables, and I just want to kind of revamp it. So stay tuned for more details, hopefully to come. I also am on Patreon. Not every influencer or social media person is on Patreon. I happen to be. So if you are, you may want to have a separate section for that. So I have just some tasks that I need to complete. Then I have an ideas section. I do feel like whether you work or you are a entrepreneur or business owner, you should have an ideas section to where you can just dump out some ideas. And then, of course, this is a part of the social media. I have YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and all of those for me need to be broken down separately, because YouTube is what I predominantly do and how this whole thing started. That is first, and I like to dump out here some video ideas. I also have some YouTube tips, because I feel like I get frustrated so much with the algorithm, y'all. With YouTube and Instagram, it's constantly changing. That's why you see like video views fluctuate. It's just, I'm trying to catch the algorithm, y'all. And sometimes I don't know what to do. And so I like to look and research other videos, see how they're doing, see what changes may need to be made, see planner trends, see other trends. And so I can try to catch that algorithm and figure out how to stay steady and consistent and make sure that you guys are enjoying the content you're seeing. I also have some video ideas. So of course I like to kind of jot them down by subject. So that way I can just say, hey, you know, today I'm going to do this or this or this or whatever. So I can mix it up on my channel. And I come here to just dump all of those ideas out. And then as I'm doing them, I check them off. So that's pretty much what I have there. Facebook section doesn't have much here, but I am going to work on some things, some content here, and maybe some schedules and things. So I do have a Facebook group, and then we also have a Facebook page for At Home with Quita and Fancy Plans Co. Hopefully you will join our Facebook group, Fancy Plans Co., because we do a lot of stuff there, including giveaways. And so that's what's there. And then Instagram, I have the Instagram feed planner. This is super awesome. I love this because you can go ahead and plan out your whole entire feed for the month. And so that's what I do there. And then we have enrichment, which are like books, podcasts, and things like that. Still working on filling some content in some of these sections. And then stats, I put a section here for stats, so that way I can write in like growth. You know, I want to see it. I just hit 60K on YouTube. Go me. Thank you guys. I'm super excited about that. And so, you know, you could track like 60K subscribers, what date it was, and you can kind of see how things progress over time. Then we have a travel section. As you can see, it's empty. And we have a media kit section. I want to pop my media kit here in the back. And that is pretty much it. But I really definitely feel like everybody needs a business and social media planner, or a shop planner, or a work planner. It is definitely essential. And I would keep it separate. Like I said, I do have a section in my catch-all planner where I have a business section, so I can dump some things out if this isn't available to me. But I definitely feel like there should be two separate worlds: your work life and your home life. Catch-all is for home, all things managing your household. Business planner is for your business and work. And that way, when you come from work, you can put this away and you can focus on your family. So that is next up, my business and social media planner. Definitely essential. Okay, the next planner in this lineup, or in the 5 planners I think you should have, is a budget planner. So we all need to keep a hold of our finances. That is just something we have to do if you're a grown up. And so I would definitely say, you know, if you don't want to include this in your catch-all planner, which for me, I like to have it separately because this thing can get pretty bulky. And my catch-all planner, I like to kind of still have it at a reasonable weight and thickness. So again, my brain works as separate. I have to have a catch-all to kind of keep everything vague and just have a place to dump things out. And then I like to have detailed planners by subject. So my budget planner is where I keep track of all expenses. Now, in terms of business expenses, that does go in my business planner, but any household expenses, family expenses, budgets, and all that stuff go right in my budget planner. And that just allows me to keep everything organized all in one place. Okay, so this is my budget planner. This is my Notique cover. It's super gorgeous and pretty. I transitioned out of this one. This was on my business and social media planner, but I like to kind of shuffle things around from time to time. So I put this on my my budget planner, and I love it. And so it's a leather material, and it's got like a, you know, a pattern or like a embossing and stitching, just gorgeousness. There's like a little, just really pretty look to it. It's very dainty and girly, and I'm all about that. And it's got a Q on it for Quita. It's almost like it was meant to be, right? And so I love Notique. I have a coupon code below just in case you guys are wondering what Notique is all about. She's fantastic. Vivian has a ton of stuff. You will love her shop, so make sure to check her out. So, budget planner. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am not always the best at budgeting. And when it comes to my shop expenses, I do write some things in my business and social media planner, but we have a whole spreadsheet system for expenses for the business. So, but business stuff doesn't really go here. This is really just my personal spending. Our household expenses are done separately. So this is just really for me. And so within this, I do feel like everybody should have this planner. Although, again, we do have a digital system that we use. I feel like everyone should have a budget planner, and that's why I still have one, even though we are digital. And so again, hub of the planner is always going to be my calendar section. That's why it always goes first. I do have this vellum here from Cloth and Paper that I put here, and then some monthlies here that I really didn't use. I really didn't use the monthly sections as much here. I use them on our budget and expense workbook. So how I budget, which works best for me. Now this is old. I do have some stuff in here way back here because this is all from the budget and expense workbook. So I'm just going to show you just for reference because we don't have to go through every single month, and I pretty much plan the same way. So my monthly was used to write in all of my expenses. Of course, that's self-explanatory. Every single bill that I had to pay personally is put here, and this was so helpful. I even put the payday, so I know when I got paid, like from YouTube, from Shopify, which Shopify for me, you can set it up any way you want. It's every single Monday, and then I get paid once a month from YouTube. I also get paid from, you know, sponsorships or any sort of brands that I work with. I get, you know, could get paid from them. So all of that goes here, just so I could see it all on my monthly. It really helps me, especially when I'm planning out my week. I can just look across, and then I can take that and transfer in the bill tracker and the payment tracker and all of that good stuff, and I can kind of balance it out so that at the end of the month I have, or the week, because I do a week by week, I would have zero. So I do a zero-based budget, and that was working for me really, really well. I don't really stay as consistent with it now. I do write in expenses and budgeting things in my catch-all on my monthly spread, and then I also have a business section in my catch-all planner, which I do use also. And then I do transfer things here. I want to get back into really, really using this and doing more of those videos on my channel. You guys seem to really enjoy those videos. And then I love a zero-based budget. A paycheck to paycheck budget is just what works for me. So basically what that means is whenever you get paid, you're budgeting those expenses that are done within that pay period. And that is just what works for me. So within our budget and expense workbook, you get the paycheck bill tracker, which has the income breakdown, bills, the cash envelope system, sinking funds, debt, savings, and then you get expense trackers, 3 pages, a cash envelope breakdown, you get the weekly, and you get the monthly summary. You don't see the monthly summary because obviously I didn't do one for that week. So I was really, really on this at some point. Again, I think in life you kind of go hard with some things and then you fall off the bandwagon, and then you get back on and then you fall off again. That's just the way my life goes. I don't know how your life goes, but that's all about how I live, okay? I try to be as consistent as possible. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. And so when I was at my best with this, I felt so good about it. And so that's why I said I really want to get back consistent with this. So that's why I keep it as a part of my lineup, and I keep pulling it out and I keep writing things in. Although I may not write everything in, I still try to reach for this planner just because I feel like it is essential to have some sort of budget planner or budgeting system within your lineup. And so within this planner, I also have a goals section, just so I could write in some budgeting goals. savings goals. I have a tracker, I have a receipts section, and I have this little envelope in here with some cloth and paper inserts, a resources section, and then I was keeping my cash envelopes back here. These are sold out in our shop because they were so popular. I got tired of making them, y'all, because they're just so popular. They have tabs here that go with them, and then they had different designs. Some might be available, but these were so cool. And you could just stick in these little receipts, of course, and then I had these little papers that went with them that you could track the expenses on that look just like this. And you could, you know, it was just super cool and functional. And so I had these in here, and then I have a whole budgeting cash envelope wallet that I had another copy of these in a different design that I would keep in there and keep in my purse for on the go, so I could just stuff those in and write in the expenses on it. And then at the end of the week, when I did my budgeting, I would bring all the receipts in that little paper and stick it in whatever section it belonged in. And so again, that's when I was really on my budgeting. I felt so good about it. And so now that I'm looking at this again and reflecting on it, I really want to get back into that. Back here, I had credit cards in here. I have a $5 bill from when we went to Europe, just because I was saving it. And then some dots back here and just some random folders and such. And I'm not sure what's in here. Some coupons and things like that. So definitely think everybody should have a budget planner. Try to be consistent with it. I know it's tough. Budgeting has just always been tricky for me. And so as long as I have a budget planner in my system that is available to me and that I can see in front of me, so I can pull it out every week, I'm more likely to budget in it, especially if it looks good. And so I like to keep it as a part of my lineup. I think it is essential if you're, you know, an adult, and even if you're growing up into a young woman or a young man. I definitely think that you need to get a hold of your finances, and having a place where you can write it down, whether it be in a notebook or a digital, I think is essential for life. So definitely essential planner, y'all. I feel like all the ones I've mentioned so far have been essential planners, but there's more. Okay, so the last planner that I feel like everyone should have on this top 5 list is a faith planner. Now for me, of course, this is a tablet, right? I do have a separate faith planner, which is all paper, assembled just like a regular planner. But I find for me now, and I go back and forth between the two, is I like digital. Something about digital. I don't know. I'm able to kind of upload, because I do have inserts from my shop that I can import into this planner. I use GoodNotes for that. And that way I have everything digitally. I have my Apple Pencil here. I can write on those pages within the software. And sometimes just a good digital notebook works best for me when it comes to certain things. And so again, I do have a full faith planner that has inserts in it, and I can write in it, and it's got like a lot of good stuff in there. But right now I'm all into the digital movement when it comes to faith planning. So I definitely say it is essential. If, you know, I'm not sure, you know, whatever your beliefs are, that's on you. I have my own faith. You have your own faith, of course, but I really feel like you still need a place to write it all down and to just remember things, important key points and things like that. And just to keep track of your studies, so you know what progress you're making. And it's important to me. And so because of that, I want to have a dedicated notebook or place where I can store all of that. Okay, so now for the 2 notable mentions, because we did talk about the 5 planners I think everyone should have. Just to go over it again, it is your catch-all everyday main planner, and then it's your business planner or work planner, and then a homeschool planner. Of course, we're all doing virtual learning. Then of course you need your budget planner for all of your financial information, and then we just talked about a faith planner, which for me is a tablet. So a notable mention, 2 notable mentions actually, one being a purse on the go planner. Now this planner for me just stays in my purse. I hardly ever reach for it. It pretty much just stays in my purse. So that way when I'm on the go and I need to write a quick note, I just need to get something out of my head, I can write it in my purse planner, and then I can take it out of my purse planner and I can transfer that into my catch-all planner. So that is first notable mention. This is my purse planner, which means it stays in my purse planner. I don't feel like it's essential because I don't really plan that much on the go. I don't really go anywhere. So I don't really feel like it's essential, but I think it is great to at least have a notebook in your purse. Of course, I'm a planner girl, so I like to have a planner in my purse. This is a personal planner from Filofax. And because it is an on-the-go planner, you're not gonna see that much in here. This is a zipper folder from our shop, and then I just have some decor here, journaling cards at the top. And then as you can see, I have July in here. That's how old this is, but I do have some other months in here as well. Just haven't planned for them because this planner stays in my purse. I think I have the whole year in here. And So what I typically do with this planner is I pretty much use like the list section a lot and the brain dump section and the inbox section. Of course, all of my planners have sections because that's just how my brain works and that's how I plan best. And so I'll come here, if I'm on the go, if I'm at the, in the car and I remember something that needs to be written down, I'll write it in that particular section and then I'll transfer it into whatever planner it goes into. And so again, since I'm not doing that much traveling, I haven't really been using this that much, but it has come in very helpful when I am on the go, especially when it comes to like writing down random things or lists. Because as you can see here, we went to IKEA. While I was at IKEA, I went ahead and wrote down a list really quickly of some things I wanted to buy there. And so it just helps you to have a notepad or a notebook or a planner that you can easily grab out of your purse to just write some things down. And so I think it's essential in that sense because we are all hopefully going to get back to a normal life where we are going to be on the go and traveling and doing things. And so we just want to have a place where we can just dump out some things on the fly. So you'll need to have a pen, of course. You don't have to section everything off like me. Again, it could just be a simple notebook or you could just have your calendar section or just fill paper. It's completely up to you, but I definitely would have some sort of planner or notebook that you can just kind of tuck things in and just get it all out of your head on paper. And then you could take it from here and transfer it into those other planners. Second is a menu and recipe planner. So this is my recipe keeper. This is where I keep all of my recipes. I'm actually transitioning them out of my classic planner into this half letter because I just love the size of it and I love how neutral the pages are, and I'm just really enjoying using this planner. And you guys know how I feel about cooking. I just love to cook, and so it would only be natural for me to have a separate menu planner. Now when it comes to recipes and meal plans and things like that, I do keep some of that in here, but most of that is in my catch-all planner in that section, so that way I know what we're having for dinner. I can create my grocery list and all of that good stuff. This is mainly just for recipes. I think having a good recipe keeper is perfect for those cooks. This isn't necessarily my menu planner. That is in my catch-all section. This is really just for recipes. So I keep my recipe cards in here. I keep some photos in here for recipes that I want to plan for. I keep my sample menus in here. I keep some shopping lists and fill paper in here. And then all of my recipe cards that are planned for and unplanned for are in here. And so again, it's not essential to have this unless you are a cook and you want to have a place to store your recipes. It is essential in that case, but it is a great planner to have if you're trying to get into cooking more, planning out your recipes and your meals for your family. I think having a recipe planner is fantastic. And so because for me, I enjoy this, I wanted to have a separate planner that I could use for recipe keeping and throw some other random things in there that would be useful for that. And so notable mention, recipe keeper. This is strictly just recipes, and I come here to pull out recipes for the week that I want to try and put them in my catch-all planner. We cook 3 times a week, and then once I'm done with those 3 recipes, I put them back in here and pull 3 more recipes. Also keep some fill paper in my catch-all planner so that if I want to plan on the fly, I have some blank recipe cards and I can, if I'm feeling inspired, go ahead and write in those recipes, and then I'll go ahead and grab the photo out of here so that way I have it. I'll stick it to the page and then just throw those empty blank pages in the planner and then write them in as I'm on the go and plan for some new recipes. So notable mention, first notable mention, I love a good recipe keeper. I think that it's not essential, but it's great to have if you want to get into some more cooking and healthy eating and recipes and all of that good stuff. So 2 notable mentions, again, not necessarily on the top 5 lists that you have to have, and really none of these planners are planners that you have to have. Like I said in the beginning, they're just good to have, especially if you're trying to get on the track with organization. But I definitely think these are 2 good ones to have in your collection, but they're not on my top 5 list. They're not necessities, in my opinion. And so I definitely would grab them still just because they're helpful. First talked about my catch-all planner, which is super important to my planning system. A must-have. This really is the only must-have in your system. But if you do have other aspects of your life, for instance, you have a business or you go to work, that planner, the work planner, is essential. That's why I'm mentioning these planners as essential. And then if you have kids, homeschool and virtual learning planning is essential. And so all of these planners are essential, but this is my main planner that I feel like keeps me the most organized. And this planner manages those other planners, if that makes sense. So catch-all planner, business and social media planner or work planner, homeschool planner or virtual learning planner, and then budget planner. And so I feel like you guys kind of get the sense as to why I feel like these planners are essential. I don't feel like I have to explain, although I did explain in enough detail, in my opinion, why they were essential. I think you guys kind of understand why they're essential. And so these are my current planners that I'm using on a day-to-day basis. While I'm at work, this stays with me on my desk. This stays in my bag downstairs while I work. So that way, if I need to write something here, I can. But I try to stay in this planner while I'm at work to keep my mind focused on work while I'm at work. And then when I'm done with work, I turn this off. I try not to reach for it again. I go back into this planner. When I'm budgeting, I'm sitting down on a Sunday evening or afternoon. This is my budget planner. I may have some things in here that I need to transfer into this budget planner. I may also have some things here that I want to transfer to this planner on the monthly, just to know, because I'm looking at this planner most often, what bills I may have to pay. I like to see that on my monthly schedule. So all these planners work very well together. Same thing with homeschool planner. If there's something important in this planner, I transfer it onto my monthly here, and vice versa, because I do have a school section in this planner. I will take that and transfer it from here into this planner. But pretty much while we're in school hours, I'm only focused in on this planner. So that's why it's so important to have all or most of the information, all the important information in this planner. And so these are really my 4 planners that I use on a day-to-day basis. And then again, this stays in my purse. And this recipe keeper is only when I'm sitting down to do my menu planning and reaching for fill paper and things like that that I need to use to restock my menu planning section. So I really hope this video was informative, guys. I really enjoyed this video and just reflecting on my planner process. I like to do that from time to time just to see what may need to be changed and kind of how things are working for me. So hopefully this helped you in some way. These are all essential planners. I definitely think, if not from our shop, of course, there's no pressure there. Grab a planner from your favorite planner company and use them specifically for that section of your life, so that way you could stay organized. And so that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my top 5 planners that I feel like everyone should have in their collection, or my planner lineup, because it was a kind of a lineup video as well. Hopefully you enjoyed that. You got a little inspiration out of it. Maybe you found some planners you want to add to your collection. Comment below. Let me know, how many planners do you have? As you saw, I have quite a bit, although I really on a day-to-day basis only pick up most often my catch-all planner and my business planner. Business planner during normal business hours, catch-all planner pretty much all day. I try to distinguish between the two, meaning that I try not to pick up my personal planner until work is done and at the beginning of work. I try to separate those two lives if I can. Also my faith planner, because I like to, at the end of the day, when I have my alone time, sit down and do my faith studies. The other planners I don't really pick up on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending on if I need to reference anything or if I need to write anything in. So those are my top 5. So again, comment below, let me know how many planners you have. What are your top 5 planners? What do you feel like everyone should have? And then keep note of those 2 notable mentions that I mentioned at the end, which was the recipe keeper. I feel like it's great to have, especially if you love cooking and you want to get into meal planning. And then also a purse planner that you can throw into your bag. You can keep it in there and you can use it on the go to write down a quick note. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, so much so that you'll give me a thumbs up, and you'll also consider subscribing to my channel if you're new here, and you will come back and catch another video, in which case I'll see you guys then.